Flosstube! Welcome back. I'm Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher, here on YouTube and on Instagram, and this is my channel about cross stitch. Yay! It is Sunday, July 5th. It's the 5th of July on a Sunday, and we're back for another weekly cross stitch happy hour. I have a very delicious cocktail today, and yes, it's a cocktail in a tumbler. That's how we roll here. Sometimes it's a little fancy highball glass, but a lot of times Tervis tumbler. This is one of the ones that came in our cocktail subscription box. And I've had a couple questions about it. We've tried several cocktail boxes, monthly cocktail boxes, and this is by far our favorite and the one we've stuck now with for a while, and it's called Shaker and Spoon. I will pop a referral link down below if you want to check it out. What you get in the box, you don't get any liquor. They're themed each month. So this one came out of one of the vodka themed boxes. So they're themed, and you get all of the like syrups and mixers and recipes and extra stuff. And then you provide your own liquor. But it's fun because they all have a theme, and like this one we liked so much that we purchased another bigger bottle of the mixer from them. So it was like a specialty syrup that was a green tea grapefruit syrup. So this has that green tea grapefruit syrup, aromatic tonic water, vodka, and lime juice. And they literally provide everything. So you get limes, we got the aromatic tonic water, the syrup, they provide everything for you, even like if it needs like a fancy rimmer, and then you just provide the liquor. So since I've had some questions about it, I figured I'd tell you guys about it. It's a really fun thing. My husband likes playing mixologist, and there are things that you wouldn't necessarily make on your own, and sometimes they're so good that you want more than just, there's enough in there to make 4 cocktails. So there's 3 different recipes, 4 cocktails. So it's a total of 12 cocktails that come in the monthly box. So sometimes after having it twice, we decide we want to have it some more. And I love grapefruit. I love grapefruit anything. Sometimes when we go out, I'll just get a Greyhound because I love me some grapefruit. So welcome to Cross Stitch Happy Hour. Hope you guys had a good week. I feel like this week flew by, and I think maybe it's because Drew had Friday off of work, and then yesterday was a holiday, so it's Sunday. We've already had a long weekend, and this coming week, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, we just decided that we needed to get out of Dodge for a little bit. I got a little, probably a cat hair in my mouth. We decided we just needed to get out of Dodge as a family. So we're headed to the coast for just a super quick trip, just the family, still social distancing, same people, different view, different walls. That's pretty much it. My camera's doing a weird thing. I don't know if it's doing it to you guys. Hold on, I'm gonna pause for a second. Okay, now it's not doing it. It was like flashing. I don't know if it was actually recording flashing or not, but just in case, we give it a little pause and a restart. So yeah, so we're just, I think we all feel like we just need a little change of scenery, especially my husband, who's been up in this room working from home nonstop pretty much since mid-March. So we're just taking a couple days and headed to the ocean as a family. So that'll be fun. Today we went on a bike ride. Whole family went on a fun bike ride, and I think even though I put sunscreen on, I got a little pink. So what happens when the sun actually comes out in the Pacific Northwest? Never you fear though, we're headed to the ocean. It's supposed to be gray and rainy. It doesn't matter. We're gonna take games and the dog, and it'll just be a change of pace, which I think everybody needs. So other than that, I don't think it was a very eventful week. Becca had an orthodontist appointment. That's what counts as high excitement these days. She is not getting her braces off they didn't tell her she was getting her braces off, so that's what she was hoping for. Oh well. But I think that's all we've had going on. Not a whole lot. I've just been stitching, and there wasn't even any enchanted stitching tasks this week, but I did jump into a game on Semi Sane that's based on Uno. It's kind of fun. You pick 4 whips, and then a wheel spin will either come up with working on that whip or like a wild card or a reverse or a skip, and we'll kind of skip around and stitch on 4 different whips. So that was kind of fun. So do you guys want to see what I stitched? Might as well start showing you what I stitched, right? I of course worked on Harry Potter book covers. Let's see where I am. Uh-oh. I restarted my phone and I don't think I took a screenshot of my timer. I'm like 54 hours in. I can tell you guys without looking. I am 54 hours in to my 100 hours. So I've broken the 50-hour mark, but I still have some making up to do. And with going on a little family trip, I'm worried it might bust it, but I'm going to try real hard to get to that 100 hours, guys, before Velosana weekend. If I don't, I'm going to keep going till the end of the month. Because, you know, we're doing auctions and fundraising all the way till the end of the month for Velo Stitchers. If you're new, Velosano is a fundraiser for the Cleveland Clinic to support cancer research. This year it had to go virtual. And so it's typically a 100-mile bike race. Not doing that. But Alicia of Resist Stitch put together a team of stitchers, and we all pledged to stitch 100 hours. And so you can sponsor my 100 hours of stitching, or you can just throw a donation at the team. The link with all the information will be below. We're raising money all the way through July. The event typically happened the weekend of the 17th. Like that's when the weekend it would have been if it had been an in-person event, but COVID. So I was going to try to have my 100 hours done by that weekend. Alicia's doing 100 hours in a long dog sampler, and it looks amazing, and I think she's on track to get her 100 hours. I will link her Instagram below so you can check out her progress. But I am clicking right along. So I pledged my 100 hours on Harry Potter book covers by Fox and Teacup Designs. This is the supersized max color version of the US covers. And this is where I got to. So I am stitching mine, if you're kind of new here, I'm stitching mine 1 book at a time, top to bottom. So I have the first book completely, I have the Sorcerer's Stone completely done, and I'm working my way down Chamber of Secrets, and you can see I'm here-ish. So I'm getting close. I'd love to finish out this book while doing this 100 hours. So there we go. I'm gonna do 1 more block. I could do 2, but that starts to get close to the Q-snap. And then I'm gonna even it up and move the Q-snap. So maybe next week, I have a feeling it's not gonna fall on the like Sunday, that it'll be out of the Q-snap, but I will take a picture of the whole thing all together when I move the Q-snap. So it's looking pretty good. I felt like I've been slogging through his shirt and pants, but this is the wall behind him. Like that's behind Harry. So shirt's done, and I'm getting down there. I'm getting down to the bottom. So exciting. So that's going well. I need to keep at it. So, and I am kind of missing Farewell to Anger. I'll be excited to get Farewell to Anger back out again, but this has been really fun to just like really push on the second book, and I'm hoping I get it all the way done. So I worked on that this week, and then there weren't any tasks for Enchanted Stitching. They did have a pop-up event, and honestly some of my stitching would have fit. It was kind of nice, except for like 100 stitches here and there, to not count stitches this week. It was a nice little break, so I just did it. So let's see. So last Sunday I worked on, I had a finish. I'm going to show you guys my finish first. How exciting is that? And this, I was working on it a little bit, and I was feeling this piece. And so I just kept going. And I had really kind of thought I might finish it up in time for Pride Month, but I did not. When did I finish this? The 2nd. I finished this July 2nd, but and I ironed it too because I thought I might FFO it. Now it's wrinkled again, but I finished Bendy Stitchy's Personal is Political. All done. I thought that I had a frame that it might fit in, but it was just too big. I was worried that this was gonna, because it's so small and pretty. I was afraid that it would get lost. So I have a frame ordered, and maybe next week it'll be all FFO'd, but there it is, all done. I stitched this on 32 count linen in the pink by R&R. And it's just, guys, look how sweet and pretty that is. And this is all over one. And I think it looks really nice. I do say so myself. And the color palette is so pretty. I stayed fairly true to her version of it. I went a little more pink and did grays instead of browns. But otherwise, and then I did the Personal is Political in the green, because that's my favorite color, and I wanted more of the green. And I wanted it to stand out a little bit more. So there we go. So I got this finished. I'm back in for Stitch from Stash, people. I'm back in. And this was a $10 credit. And then I took a bonus for over dyed floss and over one. So $12. $12, and I haven't spent a cent yet. I mean, I realize it's only the 5th, but for real, I'm gonna do a good job. I promise. I promise. So this was my color palette. So I think the only thing that was called for in there was Color and Cotton Eucalyptus. And then I used DMC 645, Color and Cotton Rhubarb, Gentle Arts Daisy, Color and Cotton Bronze. That's the eucalyptus that was called for, and Color and Cotton Grizzly. So look at that, making use of my stash. This now, as soon as it gets done, this fabric was actually kitted with Quaker sewing tray, which was a possible Mania start that didn't get started, but there's plenty. I mean, it was a quarter, but it was the perfect fabric for this. Okay, so one more look at the prettiness. This is Bendy Stitchy, Personal is Political. All right. Love that. So that got finished because I worked on that. When did I work on it? I worked on it Sunday and Tuesday thinking I was going to get it finished. I got really close on Tuesday, but I got down to just the over one and it was late and I didn't have great light. And so I ended up finishing it up on Wednesday or Thursday. All right, so what else did I work on? On the 29th, of course, I pulled out Cardinal Points for Long Dog Leap Day Sal. I love seeing everybody's progress. If you're stitching this with me, please, please, please post on Instagram with the hashtag Long Dog Leap Day Sal, because I love seeing everybody's long dogs and their progress. I'm following the hashtag. It's really fun to see everybody's. So that's mine. And here is where I got to on it. I'm stitching this on a 36 count white even weave. There we go. So there we go. So I know I did that flower and some more leaves and a little vine, and I started the inside border so I could maybe next time bounce in and do maybe one of the little motifs in here. But it's really pretty and I love working with these gorgeous colors every time. So there it is. There's the progress on Cardinal Points. What do you guys think, 4 years? I think it'll happen in 4 years. And I am using all the called for colors with the exception of I swapped out Sunflower for Autumn Gourd. So this is Color and Cotton Autumn Gourd, because my sunflower was literally the exact same color as my gold leaf. So that's my gold leaf. And they were the same color, and I needed some more contrast. So that is Cardinal Points that I worked on the 29th. And then on the 1st, I had High Tea Start. And it's Jolly July. So my High Tea Start was, I started the Sing a Sampler series, and I think I showed you guys this last week that I was gonna start this. I am using, I took it's color inspiration from Jan Hicks Color Conversion. So I will link that below. It's on her website, Mad for Yarn. And she kind of used another friend's color conversion as her jumping off point. So on there you see her friend's color conversion and then what Jan did. And then I just used that as inspiration and pulled from stash. So these are my colors because I love this chart, and I didn't give it a second look because the whole thing's done in these like golds and grays. But this to me is a very happy Christmas stitch. So it's going in this like rainbow conversion. And I am stitching this on a 32 count vintage smoky white linen, and this is my start. So there we go. And I am stitching this instead of one long piece, I'm doing 4 and 4. And I've had some people ask me about the charting for that, because if you do it that way, like along the bottom, these are meant to be stitched either as ornaments or in one long thing, 8 all together, and it says, when you know the notes to sing, you can sing most anything. But if you do it 4 and 4, the words don't quite work. They need to be fudged around a little bit. Luckily for me, when I bought these charts, I mentioned I was going to do this, and I wanted, that's how it looks on Jan's website. She's doing, I believe she's doing it 4 and 4 as well. And the one her friend did is that way. When I mentioned I wanted to do that, my dear friend Annie, Joyfilled Stitcher, said that she had already done the recharting for it and was willing to send me her files to have it all recharted. It's really just the letters just need to be like squished and fudged around a little bit. I keep meaning to ask her, and I will write a reminder to ask her, because I've had some people ask me about the recharting for that. I will ask her if she's okay with me sharing those files. And if she is, then you can contact me. Please don't bug her about it, because I didn't even tell her I was going to say that I got it from her. So she doesn't need any more on her plate, but if she's okay with me sharing those files, I will send them to you, and I will let you know in next week's video about that. Okay? Deal? Deal. Okay. This is how far I got. I got When You, and then I started this first block, Doe a Deer, Female Deer. I got the D done. I really just want to work my way down. I like triple counted this, but I want to work my way down the side and make sure that that's correct. So there we go. I love these colors, and I'm so excited to stitch this up. So that was my High Tea Start for Jolly July. So far the colors I've used are, and these colors are just what's for like the frame and the letters, like the words. All the other stuff in here, the little motifs like the deer and stuff, I'm just gonna pull that as I go from my stash. So the words, When You Know the Notes to Sing, are gonna be in this Color and Cotton. This is one of the silks from the Harvest box, so it doesn't have a name. But this is one of the silks that came in the Color and Cotton Harvest box. The red is Ribbon Red by Classic Colorworks. And then the words inside are Gentle Art Sable. So those are the only colors I've used so far. So I'll keep track and let you know what I use, but all the little motifs and stuff, I'm just gonna be pulling from stash what I think looks good with what I already have stitched. So there we go. Sing a sampler. Love that. This may just have to be like my Merry 25 stitching every month because I love it so much. Okay, what else was I, oh, the piece that I've been putting a thread a day in lately. So I've been working on this. This has been my daily stitch. And it is, I do not have, it's over there. Hold on. Hold please. I think I've done this before too. So it's this one, Hands-On Design, Love My Stitching. There's a collaboration with Hands-On Design and So Much to Love. And there's instructions to make the project bag inside. So this is on my WIP Go board, and I've just been putting one thread a day into this. I haven't done it yet today because we've been busy starting to get packed and pulled together and going on a bike ride. But here's where I got to. So I finished out this block linen over here, and I'm working on this one floss. But I mean, if I keep picking away at this will be done. This will be done no time. I don't know about no time, but it'll get done and then I can get it finished. So this I'm stitching on a 14 count white Aida. Let me tell you what DMC colors I'm using. I am using DMC 413 is the gray, 906 is the green, and 3848 is the teal. And then I did use a pink for the heart, and it's not in there, and I don't know. I don't know what color I used. So that's that. I'll keep putting a strand a day into that. Actually, to be honest, that would be good car stitching tomorrow. Maybe I'll just put a whole bunch into it tomorrow in the car, and then not have to worry about it for the rest of the week. It's like cheating a little bit, but it's okay. And then these are the fabrics. Can you kind of see that I had picked? So I'd match the DMC colors to the fabrics to make the bag. All right, and then on the 3rd, I worked on Suffraget because I've slotted this in to work on the 3rd of every month. I want to have this done by November. I'd like to have it FFO'd by November. I'm making good progress on it, but I think I kind of need to pick it up a little bit if I'm going to get it done. It stitches up pretty quick, but one day a month is not going to get it done. Maybe I'll take this and work on this too. So here's where I got to. I added a little more to her dress, and I filled in all the mortar on the road. And her dress, guys, I'm torn on whether or not to backstitch her. I mean, when I get her all done and her face in and everything and her flag, I'm gonna see, but I should have gone with a little bit darker fabric. There you can kind of see. Like maybe when she's all done, it'll be real obvious. I've seen some people have backstitched her. I'm just not sure because nothing else is backstitched on it. Oh no. Maybe if I do a really light gray. What do you think? To backstitch her or not backstitch her? It's hard because she kind of blends in a little bit. But there we go. That is the progress on Suffraget. Really, it feels like there's not much more to do. Like once I get her dress done, now that the bricks are done, like this pot will take a little bit, and I don't know. I feel like it'll go quickly, but I'm not sure like 3 more days quickly because July, August, September, October. We're that close, guys. Which is fantastic news and also terrifying news. Okay. A lot of work to do. Everybody, make sure you're registered to vote, please. Go check. Even if you think you are, there's been lots of purging of voting rolls. Just go look now. Go look now. VoteSaveAmerica.com. I will link that below. You can go, it's a one-stop shop. So you can go and you can find out if you're registered, where your polling place is, and how to get an absentee ballot. If you're able to, do mail-in voting in your state and how to do it, because the deadline might be faster than you think. Like, you might not be thinking about voting right now, but by the time you do at the end of October, it might be too late to get a mail-in ballot. And I don't want any of my lovely friends to have to be standing out in 5-hour lines to vote in the middle of a pandemic. And of course, so sorry, that applies to US people. If you're not in the US, you should also vote if you are in a country where you vote. But I'm sure you do, because lots of other countries have much better participation than we do here in the US. Okay. The other thing that I randomly worked on is arranging vegetables. This is one of the WIP Go numbers for this month, and so I put it on my Uno board, I guess. We picked 4 WIPs. So I chose Harry Potter book covers, obviously, because I'm going to be working on that all month. I picked Harry Potter book covers, Love My Stitching, Arranging Vegetables, and the Advent calendar ornaments that I'm going to be starting, which I plan to start tomorrow. I'm not sure that my first 40 count project is a really great thing to take in a car. I'll take them with me and see if I get them started or not on our trip, but we may or may not see. They haven't been spun yet, so I haven't started them. The only things that have been spun are WIP 1, which is Harry Potter book covers, and WIP 3, which is Arranging Vegetables. So this seems kind of like a random WIP to be working on in Jolly July. But it's on my WIP Go board, and so I figured, why not? We'll stick it on there because it's not that big of a chart. I feel like I should be able to get this done. So here's where I got to. So this got like 300 stitches. So I did these pea pods and started on this bunch of carrots. So there we go. It's nice, easy stitching because right now I'm just working in the one color. I think I did these when I needed something for red, honestly, a long time ago, but mostly I'm just working in this color. It's Deep Forest. This is on a like 28 count. This is a random linen that I think came from a big box store. It's 28 count Irish linen in tea dyed. Came in a tube. It's very see-through. You can see it's very see-through. I can see you through it. And so I don't love it. How about that? I don't love it, but I think it's a great look for this piece because it kind of looks like kitchen-y, burlap-y stuff. I don't know. To me, it does. So I like it for this project, and it's fine. It's not my favorite. Wouldn't buy it again. Don't think I bought it. I think someone just gave it to me. I think that was one of those, you know how when you start cross-stitching and people know that you cross-stitch, all of a sudden they're like, hey, I have this random cross-stitch stuff in my house. You can have it. That's where this linen came from. But there we go. So there's Arranging Vegetables. And I even have like a burgundy-ish frame, I think just like that it'll fit in. I know exactly where I want to hang it in my kitchen. I'll get it done eventually. And I am stitching that in the called for colors, except I don't have carrot. And I have on my spreadsheet that I do, and that it's in this project. I don't think that I do. I think I made that up. I think I bought this I bought this last year. This has been a WIP for a while. I bought it last year from 123 Stitch and did the like select all for all the flosses, but I think they were maybe out of carrot. And when I entered it into my spreadsheet, I just assumed I had them all. So when I get to that point, I'll probably just pick an orange out of my stash. But there's the flosses. They're really pretty. I have now used almost an entire thing of Deep Forest. So you definitely do need 2 skeins of that. So that's Arranging Vegetables. I love that. I would like to, maybe do like a whole bunch more of that. It's a whole series. You guys have seen them. I like Arranging the Sewing Room. I have Arranging Leaves. That one's really pretty. I love arranging, I think it's Cars, or it's called Well Suited, or no, that's a different one of hers. I don't know. I love all the ink circles things. All right. What else do I love? I think just this. This is the last one. And this was what I worked on for 4th of July yesterday. I worked on a stitch for Sweet Freedom. I didn't have a lot of stitching time yesterday because, you know, we were busy celebrating. We didn't really do anything. We watched Hamilton. Of course. Everybody's watched Hamilton, right? We watched Hamilton. We watched National Treasure, which is the movie for Enchanted Stitching this month. It's National Treasure. We haven't watched that in ages. That was really fun. But we also, you know, worked outside. It was kind of nice. We worked outside quite a bit and had a barbecue with just our family and a fire pit. So I didn't get a ton of stitching done. But when I did sit down to stitch yesterday, this felt like what I should be stitching on. So I didn't get a whole lot of progress, but I'll show you guys where I did get. I decided I wanted to work on those words, and I stitched a stitch for Sweet Freedom. And then I did the blue spools. So the blue spools weren't done yet. So I did the blue spools with the little satin stitching over the cross stitches, and to make it look like a thread spool. And yeah, I am stitching this with mostly called for colors. This is on Vintage Gray by R&R, 32 count Vintage Gray. And I think I have most of the called for colors. This I know is not called for. The yellow is Color and Cotton Buttercup that I'm going to use for up here. And the words, it calls for uniform blue. Everybody can get uniform blue right now. I'm using Color and Cotton Battleship. And that's a good color, guys. I'm gonna need some more of that. I love that deep kind of grayish, bluish. It's a good color. I think the rest of these are mostly called for. I think. Oh, obviously I think it maybe calls for antique lace. Yes, it calls for antique lace, and I'm using cardamom. Color and Cotton cardamom. So, but everything else I think is called for. That all looks right. The rest of that looks like what's called for. Yep. So, love that stitch. And it was fun to stitch on it a little yesterday. All right. So that's it. That's what I worked on, how to finish. I felt like I was pretty focused this week, but then I pulled all my whips together. I'm like, oh, I did work on a lot of stuff, but plans for this coming week. I don't think there's anything on my calendar that I need to work on. You know, like things that have birthday or get worked on a certain day. Nope. Oh, next Sunday is the 12th, so I'll work on Crosses of the Kingdom. But other than that, it's a pretty open week. I got to figure out what I'm taking with me. We're going to be packed pretty tight into the car, so Harry Potter has to go with me, right? Something I can stitch in the car. I'll take the Advent ornaments with me. Ooh, I better take everything for Uno. Okay, I'm taking all of the Uno projects, and that's it. Because that'd be Advent ornaments, Harry Potter, arranging vegetables, and Love My Stitching. And Love My Stitching will be easy car stitching because it's 14 count Aida. No sweat. No sweat there, and it's 3 colors, so that'll be easy car stitching. So that's the plan. And we'll see what Enchanted Stitching is this week. I haven't even looked yet. So let's see, that's what I worked on. That's what my plans are. What did I buy? What came in the mail? Not a lot, guys, and I haven't ordered anything. I do have an order from Top Knot. That was like a pre-order. I do have an order from Top Knot coming. And then all of my club stuff. But I really am going to pull back on the spending. For real. I'm serious this time. Serious. So I did get one order. I placed another order with Homespun Sampler because we were talking about Village Green because I'd asked about this village scene because I had gotten home for the holidays, and I had asked if there were any more of these villages because I had the autumn one and the Christmas one, and everybody said village green. Clearly it's like a summer scene. And it sounds like maybe there isn't a spring one. If there is, and you know of it, let me know. But I decided I had to get village green while it was on my mind. So I got that. And of course, one chart can't come by itself. So I looked through some of her other stuff and I picked up this one by Homespun Elegance. Plenty, because turkey. I mean, it's a turkey pulling a cart of pumpkins. It's not very big, but none of the little buttons or anything came with it, which is fine. Don't really expect them to, but there are some. I'm sure I have buttons, and I'll just have to find. I don't know that I need the little squirrel, but I think those are like French knots on his tail. Little squirrel's tail, but I would like to find a little acorn because you stitch the leaf there. I don't know. But I like that. It's going with the turkeys. And then I also picked up this Plum Street sampler because Paulette is a genius. It's labor for learning before you grow old, for it is better than silver and gold. I love that. Never stop learning. But look at the amazing birds and the like berry pots and the berry border and her amazing dress. Love it. So that came home with me too. So that was my order from them. And then the only other thing I picked up was a freebie, and this is from Jennifer, the Whistle Stop Stitcher. I will link her below because you should go watch her and check out her Instagram. But she put together this amazing freebie yesterday for Independence Day. So it says, in the face of impossible odds, people who love their country can change it. And I love that because I think it's very patriotic to see the flaws in your country and work to change them. So I love that. And yeah, so I printed that out because if I get those things and I don't print them out, then I forget about them. So I have to put them with my patterns. I would have loved to have started that yesterday, but I had already pulled out a Stitch for Sweet Freedom and I wasn't feeling like pulling different floss and fabric and stuff. So that's it. That's all I bought, guys. I forgot to bring the giveaway up here. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I totally forgot to bring this up with me. This is the problem right now, is that my stuff has gotten spread all over the house. It used to be contained up here, but since this is now my husband's home office, my stuff has kind of migrated all over the house. I'm seriously considering moving all the craft stuff downstairs to another area of the house to try to recontain it again. But I'd still have to film up here though, right? Because look, well. All right, so last week's giveaway was for chalkboard ornaments. And I asked you guys to tell me about your Jolly July plans. I had so much fun reading about what you guys had planned, whether it was ornaments or whips or Sweewee and ignoring Jolly July, which I'm kind of halfway doing. But I had finished this up, so I was passing the stash on this chalkboard ornament chart. I ran the YouTube comment picker, and the winner is Aubrey Holt. Aubrey Holt, you're the winner. Yay! So shoot me an email or DM me on Instagram with your address, and I'll get that out to you. I also want to thank everybody who jumped in on the auction of the yearbook, the Lizzie Kate yearbook charts that I auctioned off this week for fellow Stitchers. That was a hoot. I'm glad Michelle does that every week. And it's more work than I thought it was. I mean, of course it is. It's always more work than you think it is, but God bless Michelle for doing that every week. And, but it was a huge success. So thank you guys all for everybody who bid on it. And, they went for a great price, which made me really, really happy. And our total, I looked right before I started filming, we're a little over $6,500 for Cleveland Clinic's cancer research. So we're doing really great. Our goal is $10,000. So we have 2 more weeks. We have like 2 more weeks to get it done, guys. I know that we can. So if you're able to donate, awesome. If you're waiting to see how many hours I do, cool. I love that. I'll have a total for you, in a couple weeks when we get to that weekend. Although I do plan to stick it out and get 100 all the way, even if it takes me all the way to the end of July. So thank you for everybody who participated or just watched and cheered us on that auction. And be sure to hop over and check out what Michelle has up this coming week. She showed it in her yesterday's Flosstube, but what is going to be up for auction, she has an amazing out of print Blackbird book that looks phenomenal. So go check out what Michelle is going to be auctioning off. And thank you guys all for hanging with me during my very first and maybe only time doing that. So what do I have for giveaway this week? I'm going to stick with a theme. I love a theme. So I'm going to be giving away this Little House Needleworks chart, Bringing Home the Tree. That's sweet. Sweet little, who doesn't love a Little House Needleworks ornament? We all do. So let me know that just tell me you want to stitch the ornament. Ornament is the word I'm going to look for. So just let me know you want to stitch the ornament, and I will draw a winner for that next week. And until I see you guys then, hope you're having a great week. Hope you had a safe holiday weekend if you're here in the US. And I'll see you next week. Cheers.